Hello Malaysia, hello world. Apa khabar? ECM Talk is back with another interesting topic for today. What is education for sustainable development? Let me attempt to understand this better. Here goes. Education for Sustainable Development, or ESD, empowers learners of all ages with the knowledge, skills, values and attitudes to address the interconnected global challenges we are facing, including climate change, environmental degradation, loss of biodiversity, poverty, and inequality. There is a lot to this, and please let us hear more from my guest today, Datin Dr. Ng Su Boon, the organizing chairperson of APCCSID 2021, or short for Asia Pacific Conference on Curriculum Studies and Instructional Designing, and also a senior lecturer of the Faculty of Education, Languages and Psychology of SEGI University. Selamat datang to ECM Talk, Datin. Apa khabar?
Khabar baik, YM.
Good. Thank you for being with us this morning, Datin.
Yes, thank you for inviting me.
Right. Now, the topic, what is education for sustainable development? Perhaps, Datin, you can share with us some info about the upcoming Asia Pacific Conference, the APPCSID, and SEGI being one of the main organizers, and with a few other big names in this conference. And also, what is this conference all about, and how can it benefit our academicians? Please, Datin.
Thank you, YM. Well, we are going to have this APCCSID, I will call it as APCCSID, APCCSID conference. So we are having this conference on the 1st to 3rd October 2021.
Right.
And this conference is the brainchild of the Asia Pacific Research Association of Curriculum and Instruction, based in University of Manila, Philippines, and where I am their vice president. So we have members all over, especially in the Asia Pacific region. So this is our 5th international conference, and we actually rotate it in different countries. And this year it is the Malaysia turn. And so we organized it together with the local association of curriculum, which is APCCSID, Association of Professional in Curriculum and Instruction Malaysia.
Right.
Together, since I am working in SEGI, together with SEGI universities as well as University of Malaya.
Yes.
And also the UNESCO IBE. IBE stands for International Bureau of Education. So UNESCO IBE expressed its interest to jointly organize this conference with us. Therefore, we are having 5 partners here. So this conference is it's one of its kind, and I mean we seldom get this opportunity to have an international conference on curriculum in Malaysia. So we are having it here. I would say that the benefit that it will bring to Malaysia is that it kind of puts us on the map, global map, that we are organizing this platform for discussion on curriculum and instruction, specifically to fulfill this big issue of sustainable development, like what YM has said. Sustainable development is the key for our survival, actually. Now, a little bit more about the conference. So the conference is targeting at the curriculum developers, educators, researchers, as well as postgraduate students. And because we are catering for such a wide spectrum of people, therefore we have 5 kind of activities. One is these keynotes. We have 4 renowned speakers, 4 keynotes. The director of IBE UNESCO, Dr. Yido, as well as we have Professor Jengi Dong from University of London. We also have Prof. Murray from the University of Australia, Melbourne, as well as we have Dato Dr. Abiba, the former DG of Ministry of Education. And we have invited another 15 plenary speakers. They are all in Malaysia term, we call them hebat. Yeah, they are all good speakers. So it is a worthwhile conference to be attended. So that is the invited speakers. We also invite papers presenters. And just to tell you, currently we already have more than 50 abstracts sent in. And we also have poster sessions, as well as pre-conference student symposium.
Right.
So postgraduate students or even undergraduate students can participate jointly to discuss about sustainable development. And another big part of the conference is the forum, and the forum will be managed and also led by the IBE UNESCO. So we are getting universities from all over the world to come and talk on post-pandemic curriculum and management of education. And also we have another forum getting the NGOs together to talk about what they can do. So I would say that we have covered a wide spectrum, and we are excited about it. I hope people are excited and come and join us. So that much about the conference, and of course a lot of update. We can go to SAGI website so that we can look at that. So the benefit for SAGI academicians as well as the academician in Malaysia will be you get to meet people from other part of the world, and also we probably can strike some collaboration, after networking. After you get to know them, you can have networking, you can have collaboration. So this is a worthwhile conference for us to attend and to participate.
Wonderful. Well, that's good to know. Now, I presume, like you said earlier, Datin, this is the first time that the conference is going to be held in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur, yes?
Yes. For this series of conference, yes.
Right. And the response, other than from those coming from overseas, from the other parts of the world, how are the Malaysians themselves, the academicians themselves supporting this?
Well, currently we already have 247 people have registered, and we have 50 over paper abstracts sending in. Now, among those registered participants, of course, we have from Malaysia, we have from China, and we also have from Egypt, and also a few other countries. Because the conference, the early bird only ends in 1st of August, so we still have time. So we are still trying to promote it so that the other academicians from Malaysia and from other countries can come in. We have actually also sent it to the Asia Pacific countries to invite them. So we are hoping to have more participating countries coming in, and for us to discuss on this.
Interesting. Now, how will this education for sustainable development set the direction for Malaysia's educational transformation, Datin?
I think first of all, we have to understand that for sustainable development, the key concept is sustainability thinking.
Right.
Now, Now, what do we mean by sustainability thinking? Now, sustainability thinking is about a mindset. It's a mindset that we need to adopt to understand the need to consistently maintain the well-being of society and to continually improve the society and putting in a mechanism, a process for us to ensure that whatever thing that we do is for a long term benefit. I think in all organization that is important. We don't look at the short term. So sustainability is at the core of education for sustainable development. Now, what YM have said just now is very true. Sustainability development can be seen from so many perspectives.
Yes.
To understand that, maybe we should look at what UNESCO have done. In 2015, UNESCO, together with the world, other countries, we have kind of agreed upon 17 SDGs, 17 Sustainable Development Goals. Now, this goal, including YM has mentioned some, including climate change, including clean water. Don't take clean water for granted. And don't take peace for granted. There are so many problems in the world today, conflicts here and there. We are having warfare, not only physical war. We are having also, commercial war and all kinds of things. So how do we ensure peace? Now, in the core of this sustainable development, sustainability thinking is the concept that we don't inherit the world from our ancestors. We borrowed it from our future generation. It is our responsibility to provide and to guide the young people. That is why education is there, to ensure that they have a world that is still livable. Otherwise, what is education for? So the bigger purpose of education is to ensure human survival, is to ensure well-being, harmony of the human society. So that is why, in a nutshell, why education for sustainable development is so important.
Right. Now, having said all this, Datin, now as far as Malaysia is concerned, how are we with this sustainable development acceptance? It may have been around for a while when UNESCO started this and shared with every country of the world. But specifically for Malaysia, how are we with this transformation, Datin? Are we have we understood? Have we come to a point where we feel the importance of this transformation, Datin?
That's a good question, right? That's a good question. I suppose we have not done a study to gauge how are we the level of understanding of sustainable development. But mind you, Malaysia has committed to this SDG. We rectified the SDGs. And so, I was working in the Ministry of Education for 30 over years before I retired and joined SEGI. So I have been involved with many UNESCO initiatives on SDGs representing the country and the ministry. So therefore, we should know that Malaysia is committed to it. At least at the policy level, we are in the know of these SDGs and we are committed to it. Now, for examples of programs under this so-called Education 2030. Now, you see, one of the goals in SDG is quality education, because out of these 17 goals, the SDG number 4 is quality education, because we believe that education is important for all this. And therefore, the various programs that UNESCO has come up with, for example, not only UNESCO and the other world bodies, such as education for ESDP, sustainable consumption and production, where we look at life cycle, where we look at cradle to cradle, where we look at carbon footprint. So all this, the government of Malaysia, we have actually come out with a framework. And all this framework, EPU was involved. And so from the Ministry of Education, we were also involved. So we actually bring all this concept into our curriculum, especially in 2017, when we developed the new curriculum, school curriculum. We have embedded things like, for example, in this education for sustainable consumption and production inside there. Now, besides this, we also have climate education. Right. So we are also participating in this. Here we have ESTIC, who actually promoting strongly on this climate education. And besides that, there is this movement of global citizenship. Okay, education for global citizenship. That Ministry of Education is also involved, and I was also involved as a resource person in 1 or 2 meetings held in Bangkok. So with that, we talk about living peacefully with people around us. With that, we talk about understanding to look at things globally. Don't just look at yourself. Understand that whatever happened in our neighboring country is affecting us. Whatever we do is affecting others. So this concept about global living, global thinking under the global citizenship is there. And another project that is where Malaysia actually play a big role is girls in STEM, encouraging more girls to be in STEM. Yeah, because in many developing countries, we don't have so many girls in the science and maths technical education. Not in Malaysia, we are doing well. And that is why I was also leading a project where Malaysia is in, where we went to countries such as Kenya, Cambodia, and also Vietnam to talk to them about how to get girls into STEM. So we have been involved in many of this. And so with all this knowledge and expertise, the Ministry of Education as well as other ministry, we do embed it into the country's, the school education system. But then a lot of things is not just policy, we have to implement it. Otherwise, in Malaysia, we have many beautiful policies, many beautiful documents. Because I represent a country in international meetings and all, I know that we are doing well. But when we come to implementation, there is always gap. So for your questions, I would say that we still need to have put in extra effort so that this sustainable development, education for sustainable development can progress further in Malaysia.
Right. Now, Datin, when we talk about global challenges in this education for sustainable development, specifically when we talk about poverty and inequality, where do we stand in this, Datin?
Now, you see, when we talk about poverty and equality, just now I talk about the girls, all right? Now, girls, that is gender equality.
Correct.
Now, in terms of poverty, in many countries, I was in China for one conference on how they have to eradicate poverty. I was in Kenya too, where I can see poverty. So I feel very blessed, syukur, that we in Malaysia, poverty is there, but we handle it quite well. So in Malaysia, we have many programs where we ensure that the poor does have the education, opportunity for education. And so we have our national schools where the children do not need to pay to go to school. But it is something that we do need to be cognizant of. But you see, another thing that I think we need to realize too, that the poor does not only exist in the rural area.
Right.
we have the urban poor, I think.
Yes.
Urban poor that we do have to take into consideration. Now, eradication of poor, it does not just happen overnight. So
Yes.
I still believe we still, especially with this COVID-19, I
Yes.
the extent, the effect of it on the poor, we may have many more becoming poor. That is really something that we have to continually thinking of.
Right. Okay, Datin, what's your hope for a sustainable future in educational curriculum? Can you
Now,
share us your views on this? Yeah.
my hope is that, like what I have shared, Ministry of Education does have we have come up with guidelines and all that. We even come up with our own conceptual framework for global sustainability, which covers education for sustainable consumption and production, education for the global citizenship, as well for unity. You see, in our country, what is good is that we recognize that we have some problem racially. We live peacefully, but we do have some problem. But because we realize it, so we do something. So therefore, we treat unity as a big issue that we try to tackle it face on. So
Right.
my hope is that we continue to do so. In 2017, we have put together the curriculum, embedded all this sustainable development there, including unity, a big part of it. And I hope that it will be implemented well. But most of all, YM, you see, the awareness is something that the society can all together contribute.
Exactly. Yes.
The media need to play that role, and
Yes.
also the people need to know that don't take things for granted. The
Yes.
world today that we have, we cannot take for granted that it will be the same in future. We do have to put in effort. Well, we are the stewards that God has given us that task to be the stewards of the world. And so
Yes.
we do have that responsibility to keep
Yes.
peace, to keep not only the environment, also
Yes.
among living together with each other, which is the values that we hold. Those are so important,
Very true, Datin. I suppose we have to come to a point that this is a global issue, and we cannot be ignorant about it. Yeah, Datin. Yeah.
Yes, we cannot be ignorant. And it's not only being ignorant, we must have this sense of agency,
Yeah.
which is, I'm not talking about urgency, I'm talking about the agency, knowing that you play a part
Yes.
and
Yes.
you have the power to make some small change.
Yes.
And very often in our Asia society, we kind of like feeling so hopeless. Well, it's like that. What can we do? I'm so small. No, you are not small.
Yeah.
I think that concept, that idea is very important, to
I
give that agency to all, to know your power, to know your right, and to know that you play a part in sustainable development.
Correct. Thank you, Datin.
Welcome,
Learning must prepare students and learners of all ages to find solutions for the challenges of today and the future. Education should be transformative and allow us to make informed decisions and take individual and collective action to change our societies and care for the planet. Once again, thank you, Datin Dr. Ng, for your input and interesting sharing on this topic. On behalf of everyone at SAGI University, we wish the conference every success. ECMians, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Edu Channel Malaysia. Until we meet again in our next program, an important reminder to everyone to get yourself vaccinated. Let's maximize vaccination. Lindung diri, lindung semua. Take care and stay safe, everyone. Jumpa lagi.